Okay, not as I'm not as fluorescent beige as I usually am in this camera, but pretty damn near. So I want to say congratulations to Angela Bassett for her Best Supporting Actress nomination for Black Panther 2. She made a little history there, being the first Marvel character to the first actor from Marvel to be nominated for an Oscar. So congratulations to her. Well deserved. Shoot, she's overdue for an Oscar. I feel she's an amazing actress, Angela Bassett. I mean, we all know that she had that nomination for What's Love Got to Do with It back in the 90s, and that movie is a classic. Her and Larry Fishburne, and Lawrence Fishburne. Let me give the man his respect. If there's anyone that's overdue for an Oscar, it's that man right there, Lawrence Fishburne. But I digress. Now, it seems that the Woman King was snubbed this year for the Oscars. I don't think they got any nominations. Let's see, did they? I'm not seeing anything in here. And that movie was pretty damn amazing. It hit all the marks. It had that great storyline. It had the good build and the story arc. It had the camaraderie. You had your just amazing supporting cast. And Viola got herself in shape. She wasn't Abilene in this joint. She was not downtrodden in this role. Every role that they have nominated Viola Davis in, she has been some long-suffering woman who has had to deal with all the trials and tribulations of life and has been beaten down by life and, doing her best to hold on. So her first nomination was for Best Supporting Actress in the movie Doubt, starring Meryl Streep and Phyllis Seymour Hoffman. Viola Davis was on screen for 7 minutes. And she ate Meryl Streep up in that scene. I don't know who beat her that year. But baby, Miss Viola should have, just the fact that she ate Meryl up in 7 minutes. And you never saw her again. She deserved the Oscar for that alone. But she did not win. So she got nominated for Best Actress for The Help. She did not win that year. I don't know who won the Best Actress for that year. But we all know that Octavia Spencer won for Best Supporting Actress for that movie, The Help, for her role as Minnie. She won Best Supporting Actress for Fences. See, downtrodden, downtrodden, downtrodden. All three of those roles. She's amazing in all those roles. It's like she exudes such vulnerability and strength in these roles, but essentially it's a downtrodden woman. And now she gets to play the Woman King when she's back in the motherland and she kicking ass. She beating man Ross. She's a man beater. Sometime last year, I remember I was telling my father about it. I'm like, yeah, me and my girl, we're going to go take some women's defense class. And he's like, you all going to be man beater. So the Woman King got no nominations. And, that's a big snub. That was a good movie. You know what I'm starting to see with the Oscars is that if you hit all the marks, because this movie hit like all the marks of a great Hollywood film. But if you have like a happy ending, you're not going to be nominated. You have to have like a bittersweet kind of ending, or one of those open endings, or everybody got to go out in a blaze of glory. If Viola or all the women died in a blaze of glory, then it replete with nominations, I'm sure. But since it wasn't some open-ended, dissatisfying ending, or blaze of glory, or some kind of bittersweet ending, it's had a bittersweet element to the ending. You know, they lost some comrades and stuff, but if Viola died, if all the people, all the characters that we grew to love in that movie died, then it probably would have been nominated. If it's too satisfying to the audience, then no nominations for you. That's probably why the movie Harriet didn't win. Starring Cynthia Erivo. It was good. It hit all the marks. It was a feel good movie. It's like you're rooting for her. You know she's gonna win in the end. It was a little too clean for me for a movie talking about, you know, running away from slavery. I don't know how you can make like a PG-13. I don't know how you can make a PG-13 movie about slavery and like really talk about it. So according to the film screenwriter Gregory Allen Howard, a studio executive once wanted Julia Roberts to play Harriet Tubman. And he was just like, well, it happened so long ago, nobody would know the difference. And, you know, that sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds so ridiculous that someone would even suggest that. But, you know, I have seen Harriet Tubman as a white woman. And it's called Handmaid's Tale. It's like, I don't want to do any spoiler alerts if you haven't seen Handmaid's Tale, but they made that broad, Offred, aka June, played by Elizabeth Moss. That bitch was Harriet Tubman. I wept more for Offred than I did Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman. Because when you showing that degree of oppression and you're trying to run away and you're being tortured and raped and all of that, and you see the journey somebody goes through with all that, like they did with Handmaid's Tale, shoot, Harriet should be a series right there. That could be a long running series because, you know, Grandma Moses, she lived to be an old woman. Harriet the series. That would be fucking awesome. And Cynthia Erivo, I have much respect for Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo played Aretha Franklin. There was a limited series called Genius, Aretha Franklin. And she played Aretha Franklin. Now, Cynthia Erivo don't look like Aretha Franklin. She don't sound like Aretha Franklin. But she did the hell out of that role. She did her job. When it came to that episode where she was reenacting or recreating when Aretha was recording her gospel album, and she sang Amazing Grace. Oh my goodness, I wept, I cried, because I didn't saw the whole journey to where she got to that point of the story, and just the emotion and the everything that Cynthia Erivo put into it. It's amazing, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Genius, Aretha Franklin. I think you can see it on Hulu or Prime, YouTube, all the things. Apple TV, all the things. But Genius, Aretha Franklin, that was good. Good job, Cynthia Erivo. Even though you don't look like nobody's Aretha Franklin. But you did the damn thing there. But yeah, they put Harriet Tubman in whiteface. They did that. I remember at the time people had problems with Harriet. They had problems with the Woman King diving deeper into black social media, black YouTube, black Twitter, out here in these social media streets on the black hand side. There were rumblings and some disappointment and some complaints and critiques about these movies being made. These black women-led films where the women are heroic and they're feeling like, black men are taking a back seat in these films. Let black women shine, people. Please, please, please. We don't want to just play your damn girlfriends and your mamas and your downtrodden, long-suffering wives. We want to be everything. We want to play everything. If you feel that strongly about it, make a damn movie. Make a movie. There have been plenty of movies where black men have been the star and have been the leader and all that kind of stuff. So, when black women get their shine, let them have it. I don't understand why y'all so mad at black women being empowered in some movies. Black men. It's like, let us live. Dude, the white women doing it for quite some time. I remember that show, Alias, with Jennifer Garner. I loved this show. I'm like, Dad, you gotta watch this show, Alias. Check it out. And I started watching it. And then he just shook his head. He was just like, look a white woman beating grown man Ross. And I have been looking at stuff through that lens ever since that show. And that show's been that was old. That show been like 20 years ago. I was looking at a lot of little white women beating grown man Ross for quite some time. And no one had a problem about that. Nobody had no complaints about that. How many times I gotta see a story about Joan of Arc? It's like they got their heroes, and that was a historical hero. And this particular heroine, whatever. I don't like to use the word heroin because then you think of the drug. But Viola Davis played a historical figure. I don't know how accurate everything was in the storyline. I know everybody has some competing stories regarding like that, but it was a good story. It was based on a true story, based on true people, inspired by true people, and let's just enjoy it. If you want to really complain about the image of black men, I can tell you something that's been bothering me. It's actually kind of made me stop watching a lot of TV shows, like watching films and watching TV, because I've been seeing this formula. Not only have I been seeing little white women beating grown man Ross, but I've been seeing this emasculation, the emasculation of black men, and not in the ways that people have been complaining about, like putting black men in dresses. That's been happening. It's this dynamic of like this empowered, sexually aggressive white woman and this like shy, emasculated black man dynamic. Who's that dude that played Luke Cage? Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter played Luke Cage, and he was a swinging dick in Luke Cage. It lasted 2 seasons. I don't know why it lasted only 2 seasons, because it was really rather popular. But the swinging dick black man took it off the air. Then I started seeing Mike Coulter on this show called Evil. And he's a priest or a priest in training. And it's like there's these women that are like throwing themselves at him, and he's like, no, I can't, my vows. How the fuck that happened? Mike Coulter? I'm sure that check is nice though. I'm sure that check is real nice. That show Dead to Me with Christina Applegate, I saw that dynamic happen there with the lady that's playing Judy Hale. Her name's Linda Cardinelli. In the first season, she kind of hooked up with this black guy who's a cop or whatever, and then he's like falling in love with her, and she's like, no, I just wanted the dick, basically. I didn't want to take you too seriously, and he's just all weak. It's like he's a fucking cop. He's just gonna be all weak in the knees and but white women, I'm falling in love with you. That's the trend I've been seeing. There was another. Anthony Mackie was in this Netflix. I think it was a Netflix movie. Yeah, it was a Netflix movie called Io. And it was like a post-apocalyptic time. And it's like he was looking for a man who was already dead, but his daughter's there left behind. And they're like the only two people on Earth. So he's just like, all right, well, let me scoop you up and take you back to where all the other humans went, because everybody else just left. She got dumped by her fiance, like, he FaceTimed her from outer space and said, he don't want to marry her no more. And she's been saving herself up for him. And so now, you got this wonderful black man in front of you, and, she's hot for him. And he's just like, no. It wouldn't be right. And then she jumps his bones. What is happening? What is happening? There was another movie, I just saw it with like Emma Thompson, where she hires a gigolo, young black man, and and getting her sexual empowerment on for this genteel black man. It's just like, come on already. Give me Luke Cage.